Okay, thank you. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Welch Elementary School Building Committee meeting number 31. Today's Thursday, January 19th, 2023. We are meeting through the Zoom platform, and this meeting is being recorded and taped for future distribution by Peabody Access Television. Thank you very much for helping us. I'm going to begin. I'm going to call the meeting to order, and I'm going to just go right down the list so everyone knows who is present with us today. We have Jen Dort, Beth McGivern, Ed Colbert, Christina Del Angelo, Mike Gingras, Mike Burton, Todd McCabe, Christopher Kennedy, Jim Shuttleworth, Jared Hockman, Samuel Rippon, Pete McGinn, Aiden Place, Jeff Oxalita, Michelle Massa, Jillian Gonzalez, Daniel Doucette, and I'm just checking, did I miss anyone? Ed Colbert. We've got you there, Ed. Okay. Anyone else?
I'm here.
Okay.
Good morning.
Good morning. All right. Our first order of business is going to be the approval of our November 17th meeting minutes. We all received those. I hope everyone took a look at them. And if so, is there a motion to approve those minutes?
Make that motion.
Okay, thank you, Michelle. All right, is there a second?
I'll second.
And who was that? I'm sorry, I couldn't see that
It's
one.
Beth.
Oh, Beth, thank you. Beth McGivern. Okay, motion made by Michelle Massa, second by Michelle McGivern. Is there any further discussion? Okay, hearing none. I'm going to just run through and have a vote of the voting members. Okay. Jared Hockman?
Yes.
Thank you. Pete McGinn?
Yes.
Michelle Massa?
Yes.
Ed Colbert?
Yes.
Jillian Gonzalez?
Yes.
Thank you. Jen Dort?
Yes.
Beth McGivern?
Yes.
And I vote yes as well. Any voting members that I did not call?
I don't know if I'm one, but if I am, I'd abstain because I was not present.
Okay, is that Sam?
Yes.
Yes, Sam, thank you. You are a voting member and welcome. You're one of our new members. And also you did the right thing by abstaining. Okay. All right, the minutes are approved. I'm going to move into the next item on the agenda. It's a construction update, and I'm going to turn it over to Christina and Mike.
Thanks, Bev. So I know it's been since November, the last time that we met with this building committee. We wanted to provide some photos to you as far as the construction update, what's occurred since the last time we've spoken to you, what's going on now, and share some photos. And I'm going to actually turn it over to Chris Kavanaugh with Consigli, who's going to go through the construction update with you.
Thanks, Christina. So this is the first photo. These photos were probably a week to 2 weeks ago. Even a lot's happened since then. So just keep that in mind, as basically every week things are progressing quite quickly out here. This is the first photo. You can see that the new facade windows have been installed. That one at the corner actually just got put in this week. In February, once the majority of some of the more raw materials get in, we're using that temp entrance just so we don't damage any of the new entrance. So in February, you'll see the new entrance curtain wall go in. By the end of the day today, that what you see at the wood will all be covered up with the air vapor barrier. And it'll essentially be very clean with aesthetically facing the street. So that's ongoing through today. The next is progress on the roof. So as you can see, roofing is substantially complete. We are weather tight. We have started setting the equipment stands. Those are where the heat pumps are going to be located. So you can see the blocking that was installed and wrapped in the roofing, with the stands awaiting the equipment This is down in the mock-up room. So this is our first classroom that we do essentially a trial run before we go through the rest of the building. Make sure that Danisco, the owner, Dorn Whittier, have the opportunity to take a look at the installation and make sure, you know, it passes our quality requirements. So what you see here is ACT acoustical ceiling tile grid installed. MEP, so mechanical, electrical, plumbing, and even fire protection fixtures are getting dropped into tile cuts. And the paint has been installed, prime and first coat, as well as the gypsum soffit that transitions from the lower ceiling on the corridor side to the higher ceiling as you move into the classroom. Again, this is same stage. This is over in what we call the east wing, the wing of the existing classrooms that is closest towards the baseball field. Again, the grid for ceiling is installed. The drops are getting installed within those grids, and walls have been primed, first coated. We wanted to show kind of the classrooms have an accent wall with that yellowish color, and the breakout rooms adjacent to the corridors have the blue and the orange. So we wanted to just show everyone the different colors that were going on within the finishes. So same thing over on that east classroom. Right now on the west side, the one that's it's the existing classrooms on the kitchen side. Those are essentially at the same stage right now, a little staggered behind as we move through our flow of work. But those rooms are getting finished up with paint. Grid is ongoing on that side as well. So this is the corridor on that east side. The walls have been primed and first coated. The ceiling grid has actually been installed at this time in this corridor. We in room 126, which is towards the end of the corridor, we installed the mock-up for the tile in the bathroom, which Danisco had a chance to review yesterday, as well as a small mock-up at the tile wainscot that you see that gets applied to the cement backer board that you see in the darker color on the wall there. Moving in, picture of we call the core here. So this is the media center. Again, this picture was maybe a week and a half to 2 weeks ago. As it stands right now, that is all boarded, taped, and sanded, and is going to be receiving paint, I believe, starting next week. What you see here is the corner of this space. As you would walk in through the entranceway, this would be on the right-hand side. On the left of where you see the plywood is the main corridor, and that gets the interior storefront, essentially the fishbowl, so you can see into that space.
I think that's it for photos, Chris, that you had for us today. I don't know if anyone has any questions as far as the construction update or just general comments that you wanted to share with us today. Bev, do you want me to move on to the next topic, or is there anything that you want to say, or?
Well, you know, I'm just going to rave about the progress, so go right ahead and move along. I just wanted to give people a chance if they had any questions.
Sure, no problem. So the next agenda item is the budget update. This is just a snapshot again of the 3 different buckets of contingency money. As far as owner soft cost contingencies, nothing's changed. The same information has been presented to you at our last several meetings as far as an additional amendment for Danisco for some asbestos monitoring and some geotech work. As far as change orders from owner's construction contingency, we're through change order number 5. And so that totals the number below what's remaining from the original bucket, and then also what we're forecasting from owner's contingency. You can see the forecast number is higher than the last time that we did meet with you, and there has been a couple of items that have come up on our change order, change request log that we've reviewed as a project team, and Chris can talk more to that. If you guys have questions as far as there's a couple of significant or one significant item that we're forecasting and reviewing right now. with the project team. And then with GMP contingency, we're through transfer change order 4. And again, this is just a snapshot of what we spent to date, what's remaining, and then also what we're forecasting just based off of Consigli's pending and submitted log that they provide to us on a weekly basis.
Yeah, one thing, Christina, with the change order number 5, that 97,000, I would say more than half of that was through the procurement of some FF&E kitchen equipment. We actually were, as a project team, were able to get lower costs for those FF&E items to go through the project's kitchen equipment subcontractor in lieu of a FF&E vendor. So I believe that there'd be some budget movement on the owner's side to move it from FF&E over to the construction owner's contingency. But just wanted to make that clear that 97 wasn't all for the a drawdown from the owner's contingency there.
Does anyone have any questions about our updated budget and just contingency buckets as far as where we stand today?
Yeah, Bev, could through you, could they get in a little bit more detail on forecast amount to 261,000?
Yep.
I think Chris
oh.
Chris and Christina would be the best ones to answer that.
Yep. So of the majority of that value has to do with temporary measures around the ERU1 unit. Given and across every project we have right now, even though we released that piece of equipment as early release, we pre-purchased it. Originally was supposed to be arriving on site in February. Just the market conditions right now with HVAC equipment pushed that out beyond our phase turnover date. So what the team's been doing is strategizing different options, different plans on exactly how to satisfy the space temporarily without having that unit in place. So that is the majority of the 261. I believe it's right now we're forecasting around 155 on that item alone.
Chris, could you tell us what an ERU unit is?
Yep. So that is the energy recovery unit. It provides fresh air to all of the spaces within the turnover areas. And what it also does is it exhausts, it takes the exhaust from all the classrooms, all the bathrooms, all the areas in the new space. It brings it into this unit. It tempers the air, it cleans the air, it filters it out, and then it recirculates that air with additional outside air as the new air. So it's a important component of the HVAC system. And again, we are going through different iterations and different plans to essentially cover ourselves from a temporary basis from the time of turnover to when school gets out of session. That unit is scheduled to arrive. We're forecasting right now sometime in April. There's going to be some time to obviously get that installed and tied in and controlled. So we're making essentially mitigation plans to work around not having that unit for the time of turnover.
Okay. Thank you. Are there any other questions? Do members have some questions either about the cost or about the phasing?
Bev, could we also get a comment on the forecast GMP contingency, the 155?
Absolutely. Yep. Would
Yep.
that again?
Yep, I can take care of that. So the 155 number is essentially us forecasting either premium time for the rest of the phase. It's us forecasting not only premium time, just going through here, some rework we had to do at the shear walls to satisfy some structural components. It just essentially had to do with that those items as well. And then the Jersey barriers up front, we had to kind of shift around our plan on how we were going to, make sure the kids could walk around, because we were not anticipating the amount of traffic coming from the adjacent street on the loading dock side. So it's essentially covered within the GMP, but just increasing our budget for those items there.
Yeah, and Pete, just so you're aware, so again, that includes submitted and pending based off of Consigli's latest change log. And in order for us to get it to a point where we're okay to even present it to the owner for approval, there's a lot of back and forth and discussion as far as review of costs, review of time, review of basically everything, every component of what that contingency transfer request is for. So these are just, again, forecast and pending at this time. That doesn't mean that number is going to be all approved by the time that we put a change order in front of the owner for approval. But that's what I want to be transparent about as far as overall forecast and pending that are currently on our change management logs.
Thank you.
Okay, and is there any other question from any of the members? Okay, I think we can move into the next agenda item.
Yeah, so just when we're in construction, we really just have construction updates and budget updates for you. And then obviously, if there's anything specific like the ERU issue or something that is important for us to discuss with the school building committee, we'll definitely make sure to bring it up. But during construction, as far as school building committee meetings, they're pretty straightforward with the topics that we discuss.
Okay.
I don't know if there was anything else that anyone had that they wanted to talk about today.
Bev, I have a further question.
Sure, Pete, go ahead.
Thank you. Where do we project being from a construction standpoint status in the September, November timeframe? I received a communication from the city clerk yesterday indicating she's under the impression the school might not be available as a voting precinct at that time, and I wanted to get a better understanding of that situation.
I would say that that's a really valid assumption. I'll let Christina and Chris go into the details, but I think that as far as the work that's going on at the Welch next fall, it would be very, from what I can see, it would be very similar impact on voters and people coming to the site as it would have been this year. But Christina and Chris, if you want to go into that, I think it would be very difficult to have an election at the school until everything is completed, just because of the fact that it's a working construction site.
Well, I'll touch on that real quick, Bev. Obviously, any work that's going on is completely barricaded off from the general public and the school side. So we would be isolated 100%. At the end of next summer, where the project will stand, Consigli will have control of the gymnasium, as well as the double stack of classrooms that are on at the back side of the building, closest to the baseball field. So you would have access to the phase one, which is obviously the front existing classrooms, the new media center, the new center area, the kitchen and cafeteria would be turned over, as well as the double stack of classrooms on the back side that are towards like the loading dock side of the building. So we'd be essentially in that back right corner, inclusive of the gym. If voting is typically done in the gym, and not the cafeteria, then I would agree that it would probably be unlikely that voting would happen unless the school could pivot to doing it in the cafeteria. But based on, obviously the kids having lunch during the day, I don't see that being practical.
Yeah.
Yeah, what the typical arrangement would be to use both the cafeteria and the and the gym, 2 precincts in the gym and 1 precinct in the cafeteria. So sounds like it's not going to be feasible at all.
I agree. Will the current situation in the gym is all like small office spaces? Will those be out of the gym at that time, and then you'll be working on repairing?
Correct. We'll be redoing the gymnasium floor, redoing the HVAC system overhead, new fire protection, new translucent panel assemblies at either end. So we'll be significantly working in there.
Through what point, Chris?
It would be from, well, we start in there over the summertime. We will, that area is pretty much the end of the project. So the end of November.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Pete. Thanks, Chris. Are there any other questions or comments from the members? Okay, seeing none, I also don't see anyone has contacted us for public comment. Christina and Jim, do you see anything on your system?
No, I do not.
Okay. Then I think we can go to the next meeting. All right, there we go. February 16th. And we'll send out notice of that.
Yeah, Aiden will send out a meeting notice for that, for the meeting.
Okay. I think we'll be able to adjourn the meeting. I want to thank everybody for coming and for your questions and your input. If you have any questions, at any time, just reach out and we will get the answer for you. And at this moment, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Thank you, Mr. Hawk. And is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay. And who was that? Was it Jen?
Jillian.
Jillian, sorry. All right. Well, thank you, everybody. Have a good day and a good month, and we'll see you back February 16th.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, everybody.
Take care.